Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know where you are in the world, but I know that I am in Washington, D.C. And the latest I looked at a clock, it is 6:37 p.m. in Washington, D.C. Alison Robertson, who I'm interviewing, is in LA, California. And it is 3 hours behind, which makes it, I think I said 6:38. It's 5:38 here, but
Yep.
it's 3:38 in
2:38. 2:38 in Los Angeles.
2:38. See, I've never been good at math, and it doesn't end now. In any case, this is Carla from the Rehan Allahwala's World of Connection, and I am here to speak with Alison Robertson. She's a TV actress. She is a coach. She is quite amazing, also. And the whole point of it is that she'll coach you to really believe in yourself. And that includes everyone. And someone's writing, welcome, Alison. Not welcome, Carla. Welcome, Alison.
Oh,
Great for my ego, but Carla, next session should be with me. I'm waiting for you. We'll see. I have to see what Rehan has up his sleeve or in his sleeve. But in any case, I am here to speak with Alison. And we are going to be talking about her life, her work, and her passions. And I know some of her passions, but I don't know that much about her. In any case, this show is sponsored by the Institute of Peace, which is an online organization promoting peace, one conversation at a time. Alison, please introduce yourself.
Well, first of all, Carla, thank you so much for having me on your show. You and Rehan, I'm so thrilled to be here. So honored. Like you said, I'm Alison Robertson. I'm here in Los Angeles. I've been a TV actress for over 30 years. I turned my life into personal development about 10 years ago. And a year ago, I released a book called Enoughness, The Simple Truth to Embracing You, which was a passion project I had for 2 years. And about 3 or 4 months after I released the book, Forbes tapped it as one of the top 7 books to help you help yourself. And I was so honored by that. So it's been such a whirlwind the past year with that. And I believe that my passion is acting and being a creative, but my gift is absolutely helping people get what they want. And I'm a believer in kindness. And my biggest joy is that I'm the mommy. I'm a mommy to my 3 children. So, and I know today you got to meet 2 of my children, my 2 daughters, which was very exciting, Ava and Olivia. And I'm also, I live in a multi-generational household. So I live with my parents and my kids. And, I believe in having a full and happy life. So that's a little bit about me. And I believe that you can have anything you want. It just takes a village to do that.
How do you get that? If you really believe that, that's not a real easy thing to do.
Yeah, I know. And and people ask me that all the time, like, how do you do that? And I do believe you surround yourselves with great people, with people that have fruit on the tree. You surround yourself with people who see you correctly and who have things that you want. So I grew up in New Jersey, and I grew up an only child. So I had an unbelievable support system. And I grew up in a multi-generational household also. I never thought in a million years that I would recreate that multi-generational household, but I have. And I think there's some value in that. I think there's value in living with your elders and having your children and everyone live together, because I teach my parents things, and my parents teach me things. And I teach my children, and my children teach me things. My parents teach my children teach my parents. So, and I think that has a lot to do with support when you have big dreams and big aspirations. And I don't think no is something that you should be afraid of. I think you should dream big, and I think your dreams should scare you. And if your dreams aren't scaring you, then they're not big enough. So I think one of the things is, being here in Los Angeles, I want to be on television. I wrote a book and I wanted the world to hear it. And I also have a passion to support other people's dreams and aspirations. All those things can be scary. So what do? Is it just little old me doing it? No, it's not. I have an unbelievable support team in my business. I have an unbelievable support team in my family. And I have an unbelievable support structure in my life. So I'm not doing this alone. And I also teach others how to do that so they're not doing it alone. Because everything we have needs someone behind you saying you can do it, right? No one's doing anything alone. And if you are doing it alone, good for you. But you're going to need some support in the end. And you know this, Carla. We've talked about this, right?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time.
Right?
Your book.
Yes.
Which I'm still waiting to get into my hands.
Yes. Which anyone listening to us right now can certainly go to my website and you can download a digital copy right now. You can certainly get a book in your hand if you go to Amazon, but you can get a digital copy right this second and start reading it, because that's something I want everyone to be able to hear my words, because I believe in helping people.
How did you get inspired to write this book? And then we'll need to go back to your life. Let's do your life first.
Okay.
So, where were you born? You were born in New Jersey, right?
No, I was born in Cleveland, Ohio. My entire family is from New Jersey, and my father was a salesman, and he got transferred to Cleveland just a few months before I was born. So I just happened to be born in Cleveland, Ohio. And we were only there for a few months, but I was born in Cleveland, Ohio, and then we returned to New Jersey. But I grew up in New Jersey, and that's where my whole family was from. And like I said, I was an only child, and I was an athlete my whole life. And my father was in nuclear power. That's what he did. My father was a self-made man, no college education. He somehow got lucky and started a company that decontaminated nuclear power plants. I know this sounds absolutely crazy, and was a huge founder, forager in the nuclear industry in the 70s and the 80s. And my father is quite charismatic. And I spent my childhood in casinos because my father was a gambler. Now, I was an athlete my whole life, so I have a competitive spirit in me. And when I was around 12 or 13, I somehow, which you have to read the book, I met Liberace. And that is how I got started.
Whoa. You can't just say that and get away with that.
Hold on. I met Liberace because my father was a gambler. So we spent a lot of times in my childhood in casinos. So I had the opportunity to meet Liberace and his last protege, Eric Hamlin, who happened to be my same age. So we became friends. And that's how I got my introduction into show business. And what I didn't realize is that this little tomboy girl had a passion for acting, and had a passion for singing, and had a passion for music. And at 13 and 14, I started singing standards with Liberace and his crew, and started doing musicals in high school, and started auditioning for commercials. And that is where my passion for acting started, to be honest. And it's so funny. I never, ever talk about this. And then around 14 or 15, Liberace passed away. And so my introduction into that's where it came from. And it was, looking back on it now, I'm going to be 50 in January. And it was talk about being shot out of a cannon into show business. Mr. Showmanship himself. I mean, I learned so much about the industry without even knowing I was learning about the industry. But it literally, in my book, I always refer to like someone reflecting something to you. And I always say, if you don't know what you want, it'll just float right past you. And I had no idea that creative was inside of me. And they were just my friends. Eric was just my friend. And we were all together. It was Liberace and the whole crew. And we were actually in a record store. And I was humming along in the record store. And they all turned to me and they went, do that again. And I said, do what? They said, keep singing. I said, oh, I was a teenager, awkward. And they said, sing. And they found out I could sing. And they started teaching me standards. And because they showed an interest in me, I found out that I had a talent, and it blossomed. And in my book, I always say, someone will reflect something in you. And when you see that reflection of yourself, you never know what it could lead to. And it just added another passion for me, right? And that's how my acting career was born. And very similarly, 25 years later, that's how my personal development career was born, was when my business partner, Melissa, noticed that I was helping people. And she reflected to me again, you're always helping people. So in a roundabout way to tell you how my show business career started and how my personal development career started, it was someone reflecting back to me a talent or a gift that maybe I didn't even recognize I saw in myself. Now, did I just all of a sudden start a career? No, of course. I then went and had training and education. And then I started a journey in both fields of bettering myself and enriching those talents. And, both of my careers, both my show business career and my personal development careers, both started off because someone reflected back to me, hey, here's a talent. Did you know you had? And I'm grateful to both of them. I mean, it's my craziest story ever.
You can say no to this, but could you sing us?
Oh my God, I think that's so amazing that he just said that. Do you see that quote? People sense.
Yeah, I put it up there.
Oh my God, yes, the people who sense spark in you. It actually. Not only does it, the quote is, it says, people sense sparks and they encourage. This is good. You had people who sense spark in you. And that is why I wrote the book, to encourage others, to call it out in others, but also to acknowledge when someone's saying that about you. And sometimes that spark doesn't have to be a talent like singing or acting or this crazy thing. My business partner, her amazing talent is that she can organize anything. Now, that's not the sexiest thing in the world, or that's not something that people would think is amazing. But when I tell you that she can organize anything, she can organize anything. And that is her greatest gift. And everyone should reflect. If someone could reflect what your thing is, what is your secret to success? Someone just asked me, what is my secret to success? My secret to success, I have two. I have a couple. Thank you. So I have to organize my thoughts. My secret to success has always listening to that inner little voice inside of me that is telling me what to do. And in my book, I talk about this. Is always listening to your inner voice. And sometimes that inner voice sounds completely different to everything else in the world. And it may sound crazy to everything else. Think about this. I was an athlete in high school, and now all of a sudden I'm going to go sing and dance and be an actor. That sounded crazy. and I was also 14. At the same time, when I was on the verge of being 40 and still trying to pursue a TV and film career, someone said, you know, maybe you should switch gears and start to help people. That sounded crazy, but my instincts were screaming at me that that was the right thing to do. So sometimes when something's reflecting and your inner voice is telling you, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, you sometimes have to listen to it, even when the whole world is reflecting back at you. That doesn't seem right. You have to listen to yourself ultimately. That is the secret to success. My other practical secret to success is this. I believe that you can have everything you want as long as you have the village around you that can support you, that you are organized, and that you, even though I say you can have everything you want, I want you focusing on three things at a time. And you only do those three things, and you keep doing tasks and actions that feed those three things until you accomplish them. Am I being clear about that? So
that's what you and I were talking about the other day. Go on.
yes, so that you can be focused. You can have a zillion things that you want to do, many projects, and I say you get them all out. Get them all out on index cards, on a whiteboard. Get these projects lined up, but pick three that you're going to focus on. Pick three until you accomplish them. That's the secret to success. But the number one thing I can tell you is listen to that inner voice. And I'm going to tell you another story. May I? And may I keep talking like this, Carla? I don't want to make the show, so I don't.
No, you're perfectly fine.
My instincts, when I became successful, is when I learned to listen to my instincts intensely. When I was 24 years old, I was on a commercial shoot, doing a commercial. And on the commercial, they gave me a little boy who was 5. And I took one look at this little boy and I thought, I'm going to know him forever. My instincts were screaming at me. And this whole time I played his mother on TV, and I kept caring for him. And he had a mother a real mother. And I kept connecting with him, and my instincts were screaming, I'm going to know him forever. And something happened on that set, and his mother and I became friends. And during this time, we became family friends. And in the book, you will hear this. In time, over the next 5 years, that little boy became my son. And he is my oldest child now. I began to foster him, and he is my oldest child, Corey. So when I tell you that you need to listen to your instincts, even when they don't make sense to you, and follow them, it's something that I've learned to hone and believe in. And that is why when you said, why did I write the book, is because throughout my life, from the time I was a little girl till now turning 50, every time an instinct came up that sounded crazy, or like, why would I, his child's 5, I'm 24, how am I going to know him forever? It didn't make sense to me, but I knew I had to follow it. And that's what I'm asking you all to do, is that there's something you want to do, just start to follow it moment to moment and see where it will lead you. And if you need support, ask for it. Sometimes we don't have to have it all figured out. I know I talked to Carla about this. Sometimes we want to know the result and then go back and figure it out. And sometimes that's not how life works. Sometimes we need to go moment to moment, and we figure it out as we go along.
So what you and I have been speaking about
Mm-hmm.
is the going moment to moment.
Mm-hmm. Which is tough to do. You've asked me, oh my gosh, what have I done? You've asked me how to do the moment to moment. Carla and I have been working this past week together, and she asked me if I had seen any changes in her personally. And I said, I have. And she said, how? And I said, let's wait for the show. And I said, I've seen you be more in the moment because I've seen you walk alongside of people. What does that mean to walk alongside of people? So when we're anxious or unsure or insecure or lacking confidence, a couple things can happen. We can be withdrawn and quiet, or we can be anxious and maybe a little bossy and a little controlling, right? Because we want to know the result, because we're trying to keep control of the situation. And I have seen you, Carla, walk alongside of people, which is, my daughters were just on a show with Carla, and she complimented them on their confidence because they have the ability to walk alongside of people. And what I mean by that is you meet people where they are, no matter what personality state they're in: bossy, anxious, withdrawn, shy, confident, sad, happy. It doesn't matter. You sort of meet them where they are and you walk alongside of them. So if you want to pull them up to where you are, maybe you're a confident person, you just walk alongside of them and walk alongside of them and give them the encouragement that you have until they get up to your speed. Or maybe they're being bossy, or maybe they're being anxious, or maybe they're being shy. You just walk alongside of them until you get them into your footing. And that's what I've watched you do this week, Carla. I've watched you walk alongside people until they're into your rhythm, instead of walking in front of them, pulling them, or walking behind them, pushing them. See the difference? And that's the sign of a leader, is when you can walk alongside somebody.
Did you, I don't want to go very deeply into this, but did you see this happen during the shows that you and I did? Because we've done a lot of work together this week.
Yes, I did see you do that. I've seen you gracious with, you're not a gracious person, but I've seen you be more gracious, right? I've seen you be more a good listener, right? Confidence comes in being able to listen, and answer people and ask, is it okay? You know, before I spoke, I asked you, is it okay? Is it okay if I talk like this? Right? What's the rules?
Well, you're doing beautifully.
Good.
I'm kind of taken aback now. I'm not sure where I want to go. As a leader, how do I know that I'm doing the right thing for those I'm leading?
As a leader,
the show that your kids did with me today, I stepped back because I kind of thought, oh, I can, and it's kind of nice. I don't have to talk 30, constantly. And
Pravin, am I saying that right? Pravin Patel.
Yeah.
A leader absolutely is one who can walk side by side with you. And a leader is one who doesn't, my father always taught me that, and I told you this in the beginning when we started working together, that a leader walks into a meeting and does not need you to leave with their information. A leader wants to hear your information, right? A leader wants to know what you think. They don't necessarily need you to know their information. They want to know your thoughts, your feelings. And that meeting that you did today with the kids, and I say kids, these young adults, I do not want in any way, they're not children. They're the next thought leaders. It went on for 2 hours. You allowed them to talk. They obviously had something to say. They had something to share. And it's giving me the chills, right? I wasn't in the room. I don't know what was happening. They took over. You gave them a space to share. That's what a leader does. You weren't controlling it. So well done, Carla. I mean, was there any complaints? No. Uh, there was no chaos, right? There was just creation. And that's progress, right? And the fact that you're questioning yourself tells me that you're on the way to being a great leader, because every leader walks away saying, what more could I have done? Where should I be? What can I do? How can I be better? I mean, every time I speak, I literally walk away. I have a business partner. Her name is Melissa, and you'll hear me talk about her because I don't do anything without support. I don't do anything alone. I don't stand here without someone holding my back. And I always walk off of stage and say to Melissa, what did I just say to the people? What did I just do? Because I'm always questioning, just like you are, Carla. So welcome. Welcome to the Thought Leader Circle.
I never thought of myself as a thought leader.
Really?
Really?
I think the 10,000 plus people that you're conjuring up might disagree with you.
I did nothing to get them there. They just kind of showed up.
I get it. Well, here's the thing. I also think it comes down to your intentions of why you're doing something. Someone had said, what's the secret to your success? I'd like to circle back to that. I think the secret to your success is what's the intentions behind what you're doing. Listen, I think everybody wants to make money. I think everybody wants happiness. And I think everybody wants success. That's for sure. But below that, what is your intentions? Why are you doing something? Why do your feet hit the floor when you wake up in the morning? You know, why do your eyes open? Why today, right? Me, I believe happiness is a commodity that people don't value. I value it. I want to be happy every day, and I want to share kindness. I want to laugh, that's for sure. And I don't want to worry, and I want to have children that are happy and productive and spread kindness, because I definitely think kindness matters. And I think that what the world is going through right now with the pandemic and the virus and just the whole shutdown of the world that is universal, I think it's teaching us that kindness and human contact is invaluable, and kindness and humanity is a necessity at this time. And we better learn how to figure it out and be connected with one another and learn how to be kind, because it matters, at least in my book.
I agree. Kindness is very important. And most of the time, I work to be kind, but I also know when I get frustrated, I may be, yeah.
Right. Because we're
How do
human.
you
That's the thing.
yourself?
We're human. We're human.
I need
And
a sip of water. I'm sorry. Go on.
please, you're human. You're
Go
human,
on.
right?
Right.
And that people forget that, you know, we get angry and we get sad, and it's okay. Also, I brought up, we're in the state of the world that we're in. It's okay not to be okay right now, right? We don't have to walk around being perfect. We don't have to walk around being a state of bliss. We don't have to walk around being happy. You know, there are days that we can say, this is just a bad day. This is all wrong. I don't feel right. You know, sometimes I always say to my children, you know what? I don't want it today. I don't say it's a bad day. I don't say it's a bad life. I don't say negative things. I just say, you know what? Today, mommy doesn't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to make dinner. I don't want to do the laundry. I don't want to clean the house. I don't want to do these things. Right? You texted me yesterday and I said, today I'm not doing it, Carla. Today's my day. I'm not doing it. And I used to feel guilty about that, but there's just some days you just don't want to. You just don't throw away your whole life for one day. You're just having a moment for 1 hour. The analogy is that if you had a car and it had a bad tire, would you throw away the whole car or just change the tire? No, you would just change the tire. The car isn't bad. It's the same thing. If you're having a bad moment, you don't throw away your whole life. It's just a bad moment, right? So it's okay to say, I'm just having an off day. But I would like you to strive to have a great life. A bad moment doesn't make a bad life. And that's something I try to really encourage in my household, especially during these times where we are so isolated right now from one another. Thank goodness for Zoom and Facebook Live and all these things where we get to connect with people that we would never have connected with before.
Well, we've spoken about that on my before, that through the internet, we can talk. And when just an hour ago, I was talking to people from Palestine, in Israel, Pakistan.
Yes.
I think we had an Indian there. And we were talking to each other as if we were in the same living room. Before that, I was on the call with the kids. There were kids from Thailand, Vietnam, Pakistan, India, Libya, believe it or not. Again,
it's incredible.
All over the world. And here we are sitting in our own living rooms. We didn't get up and move.
No. But that goes back to me. Let me be the reflection to you. You said, I never thought of myself as a thought leader. I never thought of myself as, if you don't want to think of yourself as a thought leader, then think of yourself as the change maker, right? Carla, here you are sitting in Washington, connecting people all over the globe. Like, let me be the reflection to that for you. That's incredible. All because you pushed a button and said, hey, how about all these living rooms talk together? That's incredible. That's an incredible power. That's incredible confidence. And that's incredible connection that shouldn't be overlooked. It should be praised. Wow. And I'd love to walk alongside of you and say, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done. And, that's very hard. I find that a lot of times people do not like to take compliments. Being an actress, that one of the very first things I learned when I used to be on stage and I would come off stage and someone would say, you did a great job, I would, slough it off or not accept the compliment. And there's something I want to say to people, no matter what your success is or what your accomplishment is. If someone acknowledges your accomplishment, please accept it. Please accept it when someone gives it to you, when someone acknowledges your accomplishment. So that's beautiful because it's a gift when someone sees what you're doing. And please accept your own accomplishments and your own gifts, because big or small, they should be rewarded and they should be celebrated no matter what it is. Because that's part of my belief too. Going back to that person asking me about success, I believe gratitude is an enormous part of our well-being, our success, and us being confident and being enough. I believe gratitude makes what we have enough. And that is another reason why I wrote my book. And that's why it's called Enoughness. Because I believe we walk around believing we aren't enough, that we need to lose 5 pounds. We need to look prettier. We need to have more in our bank account. We need to have another degree. We need to have a bigger house. We need to have another child. We need to have a different husband. We need to have a different wife. We need to have a different car. We need to have a different thing. And what I'm saying is that what you have right now makes you more than enough. It makes you beautiful and whole and glorious. And that if you practice gratitude right now for what you have, it's enough to start building whatever dream you want, to go get whatever thing, that little thing, that little hope you want right inside of you, you could reach for it. Because what you are right now is enough to start building it. Now, do I want you to work on yourself? Absolutely. But I don't believe you have to fix anything about yourself right here, right now to start building or going for your dreams. Did that stun you into silence?
Yeah, completely. And even this call, we have people from Canada, we have some people from Pakistan, we have people from all over the world watching you talk.
I
don't
that.
know where they found us or how they found us, but they did.
It's beautiful. It's an amazing thing. And that tells me that they enjoy it. They need it. They need the connection. But I also think that it also makes our humanity so much stronger when like minds connect like that, right? When you're doing something like this. And, you know, like you, Carla, I sit here and think, who am I? Who am I to share my thoughts? And when I wrote my book, someone had said, I 5 or 6 years ago, someone asked me to speak at the Screen Actors Guild and said, why don't you share your thoughts on someone? I believe someone had posted a question about they're in Hollywood and they were a Bollywood actor. I saw it come up and come down. I'm not sure that question. And asked me to share my thoughts with other actors about how to be successful. And I thought, really? You want to hear from me? So I put together a program. And listen, gang, I don't do anything where I don't study, educate, and make sure that I am completely forwards and backwards prepared to do something. That's just who I am. And of course, the first time I spoke at the Screen Actors Guild, I hired a speech coach. I hired a media consultant. I didn't do anything without being 100% prepared, because I would never want to let someone down. And I would never want to not give someone what they paid for. Like, I would just be so scared to let them down. That was my own noise, because I didn't think I was enough or what I had to say was enough. So that's how the book sort of was born, was my own noise and my own not feeling enough. And so then I started writing down all my own journey and obstacles and things that I went through. And that's how the book came about. And when the book was released last year, it was the most frightening thing I've ever done in my life, because I literally thought, who in the world is going to read a book from Alison Robertson? This is ridiculous. And I made every one of my family members buy it. And I just thought, well, it's going to be their doorstop by December. I just thought they're just going to use it as to hold open their doors. So when Forbes put it on the list, it was one of the most exciting, exhilarating moments of my life to be recognized like that, to have that reflection. I can't even tell you. It was the biggest confidence boost I could have ever had. So I'm so honored for that. So that's why I'm such a proponent for even the smallest things being celebrated that you do.
How are you feeling now?
About the book or our conversation?
Yes,
or
in general, how are you feeling?
You know, I'm learning to adjust to this new life of not being out in the world. I'm definitely someone who loves feedback. I'm an actress at heart. I love an applause. So I'm not very sure I like living inside my four walls with my family. They don't really clap for me very often. But I'm learning, and I'm about to do more of this type of stuff for myself. I feel a need to talk to more people, for sure. That's my next thing. I feel I need to help more people, for sure. So I'm feeling good about it. And I'm also feeling very good about where we're going in the world. I was a little scared a couple months ago, but I feel it was a pivot that we needed to happen as humanity, in order to connect deeper. That I think our very small world just got bigger. So I'm anxious to see what happens next, to be honest. What do you think, Carla?
I'm just floored completely. I don't know what to ask next. It tells me that maybe it's time to end.
I think that's a beautiful way to.
Do you have any last words that you would like to impart to our audience before we shut this up?
Yes, I do. I would love to say that I wish that the person that, my kid said something today on your show that really struck a chord in me. And you asked them where they got their confidence from. And they said, our mom said that our self-talk is the most important thing. And
Right.
that we should never talk to ourselves in any way that we wouldn't talk to somebody else. So here's the example of this. I always say to them, hey, don't talk if they're talking meanly about themselves, or they're saying something derogatory or degrading about themselves. I will say to them, hey, stop it. You're talking meanly about somebody I love. So I would hope that everyone realizes that their self-talk is the most important thing for confidence. So if you would walk away with, if you say something mean about yourself, as if I'm not smart, or I don't know how to make money, or I'm not attractive, or any of those things that you say in your head, I just want you to hear like, hey, stop saying that because you're talking about somebody I love. So that is the first step to building self-confidence, is just remember, do not talk badly about yourself because that's somebody I love. And if you can start there and then share that with others, your self-confidence will start to bloom.
Someone just wrote, Alison Robertson, are you connecting with me? I am all set to begin session to interview you after this one. I'm ready to send you link.
Sure, absolutely.
Do you want him to do that?
Sure, I will see him on Facebook. Tell him no worries.
Maybe not right now, but you will.
Yes, I'll go. We'll talk after this.
Alison,
thank you.
You totally inspired me, like you always do.
I appreciate you.
Thank you for the time and energy you just gave to me. It was amazing. It was longer than we had planned, but that's okay.
That's us, though, Carla. We always talk too long.
Well, I think we've become friends.
We are friends, Carla. We haven't become. We are friends.
True.
And can you do one thing for me before we hang up?
What?
Who takes care of you, Carla?
I do.
And I take care of me, and I appreciate you so much.
And I appreciate you so much. I did not expect to be asked that on air.
I will see you tomorrow.
Whoa, you're not going anywhere yet.
What? Oh, no.
You cannot leave until I give you that instruction.
Oh, okay.
But thank you for talking to me. Thank you, viewers, for watching this. And thank you, Rehan, for supporting this interview. And with that, we're going to wave goodbye. And we'll see everyone I don't know when, but we'll see you. And with that, we're going off air. Oh, don't forget, the Institute of Peace did sponsor this conversation. Bye.